So I start record and then how can I do the screen? Right. I don't know how to do the screen. If the screen is my ever. So now it seems like the screen is on you, Flatka, and how does it work? That is, I don't know how to change that. That screen, it has to be the screen on me when I'm recording it, so I don't know how to change that. God.
Rosemarijn, I think it is on you, Rosemarijn, right now.
It's on me. Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay, then you see it like that. Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, I'll start. A lot of people. Hello. Now, this is nice. This is a bit trying to do it well. I did it the first time and I learned of the video meetings that I have to look in the camera. So I look now in the camera. So it's a bit strange to look in the camera and not to look at you, but I will try. And I start. I'm a bit nervous. No, it's a bit strange to look in the camera and then start to talk. It's more easy for me to talk and see people and then ask questions and do the things like that. Well, okay, it's like that. So this is all there is. This is all there is, and this is everything. And it's in this period of Corona, we have to stay inside, you say, and then you notice that you have to stay in your own room or you stay maybe in your garden and you cannot go out to do something in the world. The strange thing is that there is no world. When you're at home, where you're sitting there, that's everything. There's no outside, there's no inside, there's only what's happening, and that's you're raising your hand or walking to the toilet, and what you see is everything. It's not that there's an outside world where it's happening something. It's just what is happening is everything. So there is no outside, there is no inside. There is just speaking, or it's so simple. It's the most simple thing there is, but we are so used to name things, to interpret things, to when there's something happening, you have a feeling, then you think, oh my God, I have what is happening? I'm restless. Oh, what can I do about that? And how can I change that? And how can I do to get more silent or more rest, have more rest? And it's so easy to not see that restlessness is just what's happening. It's not wrong, it's not right, it's just what is happening. And it's just not your feeling, it's a feeling. And it's even, and that's even more complicated seems, it's even not in your body, it's just in space. So the body is not fixed, the body is not solid. When there's a me, you always think, I have a body, I'm in that body, and I have to take care of my body. When there's no me, it's so obvious. The body is just energy, like everything else. So there's only one. There's no difference between the body and the chair. It's one. Of course, you see a different image, but the energy is the same. So there's no difference. So there's also no good or wrong. There is no good or wrong. It's only what's happening. And when there's a me and you think it's I am in my body, you think the feelings that are seemingly in the body, they are my feelings. And when it's a feeling I don't like or like restless or irritation or frustration or all that kind of feelings, bad feelings, so called. Then they have to go. And when there are nice feelings like happiness or I'm glad or I feel at peace, then you want them to stay. And both, you can, there's nothing you can do about it. There's no one who can change. So it's not about want, it's not even like, how do you say, it's when there's a feeling, there's no one who can change anything because there's no one. So change can't happen. But when there's a me, it's so, you're so used to think about, I am someone, I have a choice, I have a free will. So it's up to me to do something in my life, to do the right thing. And it's always looking for the right thing and doing not the wrong thing, or if you are in the wrong queue or wrong, everything is about right or wrong. And when there's no me, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Then of course there's no right or wrong. It's only in the mind, in the thinking, that you think, oh, this is wrong and this is right, because you think I have to feel good. And it's so me-centered. When there's a me, it's like everything is about your body, about you feeling good, about you. And when there's no me, it's seeing that, oh my God, it's there is no one. Oh, it's not only here there's no one, there's never ever been a me ever. It's nowhere. So there's there's not even no need to change, but there's no possibility to change. It seems that it looks like that you have the possibility to change things, but change happens. It happens or it doesn't happen, but it's not because of you, it's not for you, it's just happening. So it's much more neutral, and that's also the freedom. That's the freedom, is that there's no need for change because this is already it. And we're so looking like, oh, this I'm looking for. No, maybe you're looking for no me, or you're looking for, everybody looks for something different. And sometimes it's not so obvious what you're looking for. There's some image about it or some thoughts about it. And but it's always the thing that always stays is like, there's something wrong, there's something missing, there's something not right for in myself, or something has to improve or something. That's the me has always something, there's something wrong. So there's a huge drive to make it right. And that drive that goes everywhere too. That can be money or relationships, and it can also be meetings of non-duality, because when you've done a lot of things, then there maybe there's coming meetings of non-duality, and you think, oh, it's the me that gives that feeling of restlessness, and how can I lose my me so I will be more free. And the funny thing is, there is already no me. This is already it. But the me thinks, yeah, this is already it. But I'm not feeling it. But I'm not like you, or I'm not feeling free, or things like that. So you're always looking for something, which will last. But it changes all the time. Everything changes. It can be a feeling of joy. There can be no feeling. There can be walking. It's every time it's new, and it's not one thing, or one thing all the time, of not joy, always joy. It's everything. So it can be pain or joy, or just walking and no feeling at all. And that's already there too. So what's the difference? There's no difference. The only difference is that there's a huge embodied feeling of that there's a me. that's the only difference. But in fact, that's also what's happening. That's also it. That's also everything. So there's nothing wrong. And it's not about feeling something, it's not about knowing, it's just about what's happening. And then, of course, there's also another thing about it, that it's not really happening. That's the awful part of for a lot of people, because we're so used that the whole world is solid, we are solid, the body is solid, it's real. Nothing is real. It's not solid, it's just energy. And it's there and it's not there in the same time. So it's not real. There's not really something happening. That's the freedom. That there's nothing happening. Wow, it's just everything is going just like that. And it's in the same time it's nothing happening. So nothing matters. That's a huge freedom and joy. And the joy is not my joy or the joy of from someone. It's just joy. Life is joy. It's life is vitality or things like that. It's like a little child. How when you see a little child, you can see how life can be anything, like mad, anger, and can be quiet and everything. Going to the toilet, drinking coffee, watching television. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing. This is not wrong, and this is wrong, and this is not right, or this is right. It's not about that. It's not. It has nothing to do with good or wrong. There's nothing wrong. So it's already free. It's already this. It's so easy, simple. What is? So there's no need for looking. Yeah. Hmm. So I think this is my talk. If you want to say something or ask something, and if you want to chat, that can is also possible if you don't want to look to be on the screen or something. What you want, and you can unmute yourself. Oh, there's someone with a hand. That's nice. One, I can unmute you. Do I unmute? Do I unmute you now? No. Oh my God, it is.
Rose,
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I unmuted myself.
Sorry?
I unmuted myself.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
I think you can do it as well, but I don't know how. If you are a host, you should be able to mute or unmute someone.
Yeah, but if you unmute yourself, that's all right.
Yes.
That's more easy.
So, hello. Thank you so much for doing this.
Okay.
Thank you, Rose. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, sorry, I wanted to ask you, I was thinking it was quite logical to me that there is no time, because you can explain that to yourself. I don't have any proof that there was past or that there's gonna be a future. So I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started thinking in the same terms, like there is no space, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then I got really frightened, because
Mm.
if there is no space,
Yeah.
then what's happening?
Mm.
Where am I?
Mm.
Can you, is it true that there is no space as well?
There's no space. I wouldn't say that. There's just space. There can be space.
There can be space. Okay.
But it's when there's a me, there's always trying to understand, and also with time, you understand that oh, there's no future. Yeah, I understand, but
Mhm.
there in some way there's also cause and effect. It's the same when there's cause and effect. There's time, of course, because there
Of course.
can't be cause and effect when there's no time. But it's so embodied. It's not only in the mind you can understand it, but it's more than understanding. It's and when you try to understand, it's more uh, it's making it a bit more easy for yourself, something like that. And it can be, it's not, it's all right, of course, but it has nothing to do with this. It's just a
Right.
new way of making things, okay, I understand, and that there is no time, and okay, that's no past. But it's still somewhere, it's energetic. It's somewhere in the body. It's understanding is just a very small layer. It's very small thing. And in other reactions, sure, there will be, there is time because there's cause and effect. It's so normal to think in cause and effect. And it doesn't matter. You can't, how do you say, you can't, uh, uh, on me yourself or something. How do you say it? So if there's a me, it's all right. If there's a me, it's just what's happening, and it doesn't matter. So, but and the searching goes on. But the searching is not your searching. It's just searching. It's just, and even searching is already a story. It's not even searching. There are thoughts. There may be walking, or there can be thoughts, but thoughts are just thoughts. They seem to have content, but it's just thoughts. So it can go on. It goes on, of course. Doesn't matter.
For me, it's really easy to understand that there is no me.
Yeah.
I started to understand that when I started to think about ants. You know ants.
About an end.
Ants, yes, small animals, ants.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can they know what to do? They just know.
No, they know. They don't know. It just happens.
Yeah,
That's
it just it just happens.
the thing
Exactly.
that you do it, but it's not you doing it. It's just
Yes.
energies going. It's just
I,
happening.
I'm same like a little ant.
Yeah. It's the same. Like we are the same as the animals. We think we are
Yes.
more.
Yes.
We think we do it, but it's not like that.
Or when you think about politicians,
Mm, yeah.
when you think about politicians,
Mm-hmm.
these men of power, when they are in the top of the world, like Trump or someone, and
Mm.
then they lose this position and someone else comes. It doesn't matter who, you know what I mean to say? It doesn't matter who is in that spot. It's always gonna be someone who is gonna do something.
Yeah, it's just a story. It's just a
Yeah,
story.
it's the
We're
story.
always going on with other people or seemingly people, and when people and believing it, we always go on. That's the
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's
But the
why
story has, sorry, the
I
story has
can't,
no meaning. There's no
yes,
meaning.
yes. I can't be mad at Trump anymore or mad at this person or that person. They're just doing what they're supposed to do at that moment in that time, right?
It's not even happening. It's just an image and talking, and then it's already not happen. It's even not happening. So it's so no issue. It's and there can be Trump, and there can be irritation, or there can be I don't know what. And then that's what's happening, and then there's something else that's going to the toilet. There's no power. It seems that they have power. They believe it's a
Yes,
belief that there's
yes.
power. Yes, of course, there's no power.
There is no power. There is no Shakespeare. There is no Mozart. Everything just came to be, right?
It's just the story, and you can talk in the story. That's what's happening. And in those meetings, there's very clear that then there's no story. But when when there's talking with friends, you can talk about anything. It doesn't matter. And that's also the freedom because there's nothing going on by oh I don't have to say that oh I have my meaning is not really important or it's very important or all that stuff. God, that's the freedom. You can say anything. Why not? It's just coming out like this. It's just coming out, and it's not the truth. It's just words. That's it.
Thank you so much, Rose. I'm going to let other people talk now.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. Mm.
Rose?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I'm Susanna, calling from California.
Okay.
Glad you're having this. I can't tell you, I was wanting to come to Amsterdam at some point because I'm like, I've got to do this, and here you are in my living room. So
Yeah, great.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I woke up this morning and just around work, I get a lot of anxiety. And I think you were talking a week ago, I watched you, just about how this me is wanting to be better, like something's not good enough,
Mm.
or I'm not good enough. And
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you could speak of, because it does seem like the thoughts go really fast or something, and then there's really a belief that I'm not good enough. I'm separate, and I better be careful with my job and
Mm.
think of good ideas, or else I'm going to be, it
Mm.
just seems like, and then I just think of what you say, which is like, okay, well, anxiety is what is. So I mean, maybe it's a thought that the anxiety is wrong, or that the thought's going faster and that they're about me being not good enough. Okay, so that's what is. But it definitely seems to keep going, I guess, until it doesn't anymore. But is there, anyway, I know I guess there's nothing to do with how this character shows up with some anxiety around not feeling good enough.
Yeah. But when there's a me, there will always be somewhere it's not good enough. The me can't hear, this is it, this is already it. This is it, there's nothing wrong. It can't, it's very strange, but it can't hear it. Because that's not only in the mind, because in the mind, everywhere, a lot of books about I'm okay, you're okay, or anything like that. But that's only on the top. It's not, it's so embodied. So that's a drive that goes on. That goes on. But the drive is it already. So the drive, the thoughts, I'm not good enough, are it. So that's not wrong. That doesn't have to change, because then you think that's a new thing about non-duality. You think, oh, I'm still thinking I'm not good enough. Now, okay, how can I change that? Of how can I say, oh, I can say this is what is, or things like that. Thoughts that you're not good enough are it. So that doesn't need to change. That's the huge difference. That nothing is wrong. Even thoughts that you're not good enough are wrong. Of course not. It's just what's happening, and then you're going to the toilet, and then maybe it's going on, and it's not even thoughts are causing pain or causing anxiety. There's no cause and effect. So pain can happen, or it's not because of your thoughts. That's so always so strong that we are, even maybe you have done some therapy or things like that, and then now, it's always about cause and effect. So when there's cause and effect, there is something wrong or something right. And then you have to work on it or not to work on it or things like that. It's always the same story. And this is about, there's nothing wrong. There's no need to change anything. To change that you don't need to change or something like that. So, but the me can't hear this. So, and that's also what's happening. That's not wrong. It's just what's happening. It can't hear it. So what? Then it's like that, and there's pain or there's something else, and it just goes on. And but sometimes then hearing this message is not, it's not about the content of the message, but there's something like, oh, there are no questions anymore, or there's something like it's energetic, like, because it's the most strong drive that there's something wrong. It's not, it's there's a me that's, but that the me is always like, oh, there's something missing, there's something wrong, and I have to make it right or do it right. that's the most, yeah, most, no, that's that's the suffering. I think that's the suffering. But suffering is it too. When there's suffering, it's just an energy. So that's it.
Right. So there's nothing to do. Yeah, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Like this is it in the whole life. This is it. There's nothing to change.
It's even worse because you think, you or other people are thinking that you are there, and then that you have your life and there's a world with other persons, and then in that content you think, oh, I don't have to do anything, and if people come to me or da 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 da. There is no one. There's already no one. Not here, or but it's never has been someone. It's just a thing of the brain that makes it that when there's separation, then the brain creates a me, because then it's like, oh, it's so threatening, that world. So that gives a little bit of comfort, like believing you can change it, or you are in control. But there, it's empty. It's just no one inside. There's nothing inside. There is no inside even. It's just that body. That's it. And it's not your body. So it is even not about nothing to do. That's already a story. It's just knocking, nodding, like say nodding, or that's it. It's so close and so small and simple. It's even closer than close, and it's already there.
Yeah. And thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Rosemarijn. Rosemarijn.
Hi.
It's good to be here.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Sorry?
Greetings from Portugal.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it's like there's no good or bad, there's no right or wrong. So there are also no good decisions or bad decisions. Is it what you're suggesting? Is it what you're saying as well? Like you cannot make a good decision or a bad decision, it's just a decision?
But it's not even that you make a decision.
Or decision being made, yeah.
It seems that you are making the decision, and then you think you have thoughts, and then you think, oh, what shall I do? You think you have a choice, so I have to make a good choice. And then you would think, what's happening? It's because of that you choose that. But when it's not happening exactly like that, and you think, oh, maybe I made the wrong choice. And then,
yeah, right.
But it's not even your choice. It just, there is a change. There's something different happening, and it seems that you have a choice, but it's part of the me that you think there's a choice. It's not about good or bad decisions. It seems that there are decisions, but it's not, there are no decisions. It's just something happening. It's not because of you, it's just another happening. Another seemingly happening. It had nothing to do with what you were thinking before. Everything is just new. There's no before and after. There's no before and no after. There's no because, there's no cause, there's no effect. It's just only what's happening. So decisions are already in the story of me. And even good decisions and bad decisions, of course. That's also, it's always in the story. Then there's good and bad, of course, because then it's good when you feel good. It's so obvious. It's good when you feel good. It's bad when you feel bad. It's amazing. It's always about you or me or wow. It's always the center of everything. Wow. Yeah.
So for example, like looking back and thinking, for example, as an example, like I went to this party and then like I didn't enjoy it, and like I met the wrong people. So thinking back, like, wow, I really made a bad decision by going there, because I went there, something bad happened to me, and blah blah blah. This is just all a story. I think it just happened.
Yeah, but it's also an escape, because when there's something happening and it's there's a bad feeling, you want to get rid of that bad feeling, and then they're thinking, oh, I did a bad choice and I have to do it differently, and da 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 da. And there's that feeling that's just a feeling what's there. And then you want to get rid of that feeling, and then there's a whole story about this is a bad decision or da da da. And then, but it's just that feeling. That's what's happening. God, that's it.
And also sometimes thinking like, wow, I'm gonna make this decision because it feels good, or it feels right, or it feels like healthy. It's also like, because you got so used to think like, I have to trust my feelings, I have to trust how I feel, and if I trust this, I can make a better decision, or like I have to follow my intuition. I mean, something like how to make, how to make a decision, or like how to move forward into a better place or better future, or it's
Yeah.
all,
It's
it's not
always
needed.
the same. It's always that same story. Everybody has his own thing there, but it has his own accents. But it's always the same story about wanting to feel good. That's to me, that's so strong. There's something wrong, there's something missing, and you're looking for something, a good feeling or something, or luck or freedom or whatever. And you can't see, the me can't see that that's what is happening, it is already. So there's no wrong or right. That's the story is always about searching. So this, in the searching, there's wrong and right. And when there's right, you think, oh, I have to do more of that because that gives a good feeling, until the moment that it's not giving a good feeling, and you think, oh, maybe it's not, and then the whole game goes on, and it's going nowhere, because you think there's a road there. You think, I have a body and that's constant, and then I have to look for it, and when then, oh, this is healthy for me because this food that gives me a good feeling, I have more energy, and you think when that's happening, it's happening like forever, and then, oh, that is good for me, and I'm someone who needs that. So we have an identity that, oh, I need some vegetarian food because that's more healthy, or whatever. And then you think that's forever, and you make yourself like solid and like a person who can choose, and then it makes it really very solid. And then something is changing, because that's life. Life is changing, no matter, it's not taking anything in account. It's not like, oh, I'm taking care of you or something like that. It's just happening. And then you think, oh, this is happening to me, and I don't know why, and what can I do about it? And wow, there's a lot of thoughts about it, and it's just something happening, that's it. But the whole story can be so strong. And when that belief is really strong, then that's what's happening. Then sometimes this talks come through, and then, but it can make it even more stronger, because it's also threatening for those identity things. Identity is very strong. You want to have an identity, and to be someone, and to be someone who's living a good life or something like that. And that's so strong. And it's not even for other people, but for yourself. You think, I want, and it's so much more simple, because there's no one. There's no one to take care of. There's nothing wrong. It's just a feeling or a happening, or uh, what is happening? Going outside, picking your finger at a rose, and there's coming blood. That's it. And then it's pain. So what? But it's not wrong. It's not wrong to do all those have those thoughts. It's not your thoughts, it's just what's going on. That's life going on. That's thoughting. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just what's happening. Mm. Mm.
But still, like, if I think about, for example, if I see something on the internet and then like I'm thinking like, should I do it or should I not do it? You know, like, so in your case, in the case of Rosemarijn, I mean, is the decision made like quicker because there's not like this thinking like, is it a good idea to do it or not? Like, is this changed for you? Like whether to do something or not? Just curious about that.
There can be thinking. Oh, how do I go in this corona time, for example? Shall I go by bike outside or shall I not go outside by bike? Something like that.
Yeah, right.
That can be thinking, that can be go on. And then there's a noticing that it's not happening. It's just going to the garden and I'm not even thinking about it. And then in the evening I think, oh, I was busy with thinking if I wanted to bike or not, but it was just already gone and I didn't do it. So something like that. So it comes up, but there's nothing doing anything with it. And then it disappears. And you can say you forget, but it's not even forgetting because that's not it, but it's not there. So it feels the same as when before, like, yeah, you think you want to do something and you do something else and you totally forgot that you were thinking about that. And there's also no difference. What I also noticed when a lot of people here are like, you go outside and it's better to go outside. You can go outside because it's nice to have a little bit that you see a little bit of the world anymore. And I was going outside and I thought, oh, it's even the same. It's a different image, but it's the same as when I'm walking in the garden. I have a little garden, but it's the same. I don't know. So nothing is going on about that. And it can be like moments like, oh my God, I'm feeling more. There can be some feelings and then they go away and then something like that. But it doesn't stick, something like that. There's nothing picking it up and taking it with me and go on. But it isn't happening. It's not that I think, oh, I don't have to do that. It just doesn't happen anymore. That's the energetic thing, that it just vanished and not coming up anymore. So it's not a big thing. It's not that I'm good and in know me. It's just yeah, it's easy. It's the most easy. It's very easy.
Yeah, it sounds much lighter.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Because when that's a life like this, then it's also forgetting how it was before. When I'm talking to people, I remember, but normally it's not. Also, there's no thinking about this is lighter than something else because it's just normal. So you forget what was before. So it's just normal. Very little life. It's not special or nothing special going on. Or I thought it would be special, but it isn't. No, nobody sees it. No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mm.
Rosemarijn.
Sophie, can you unmute yourself? Oh, yeah, you unmute yourself. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, my internet went out there when I was talking before. Now I'm back. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I just think what I felt so fascinating is it's like, I think like we think we're doing the thinking, right? Like that's how we all talk. Like, oh, I had a thought. Whereas right? We think, oh, I had a thought, so it seems as though we're doing thinking.
Yeah.
Whereas I think this message is so different because it's like nobody's doing thinking. Thinking is just happening on its own.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know.
It's just energy thoughting, something
Yeah.
like that. And it's just, and thoughts, what always is that you think thoughts have a content and they're important because then you have to do this or that, and you think that all that, because you think your thoughts give you a new way or a good feeling or bad feeling. Thoughts are, the content is very important, but it's just thoughts, and the content, it's not important at all, the content. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it won't be saying that, oh, nothing is important, and when you're talking with someone, and then just thinking can happen, or going to the shopping, thinking can happen. Thoughts is not wrong, or have your list of shopping list in your head or something like that.
Right.
That's also happening.
It's interesting how different kinds of thoughts can carry such a different amount of import. Like, you know, if it's things about like, oh, my job, those feel so heavy, and like, oh, I listen to those. But then like if it's you know, a list for the supermarket, those aren't nearly as heavy as like for my survival, my job kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And when there's thoughts about jobs, and there's fear in the body, or that you feel somewhere, then there's fear. Fear is just an energy. And when you have fear, you think, oh my God, and you name it like, oh, there's so much fear, and that naming it is already also a big thing. It's not wrong, but it gives it more strength, or more makes it more solid also. And it's just energy. It's just moving, and then it's going away, like without doing anything. So it's not up to you to do something with it. That's also the thinking. And
right, you're right. We think, oh, I've got to do something to get in a different state.
Yeah, yeah, that's
it's up to me to change this.
Yeah, because the me is the center of everything. So you think, whatever happens, I have to do something to make my life work, or make my life happy, or look for someone, or anything. Because and it's not only in the thinking or in the mind, it's more embodied, that it's so real. The world seems so real, and you seem real, and other person's relations seems real. Jobs seems real, because then there's money, and you have no money. My God, it's just going to your job. It's just walking, and that's it. And then sitting behind a computer or something like that. Money has nothing to do with the job. It's amazing, but yeah, it's so strong. It's so connected. Everything.
Right.
Yeah, and it gives a feeling of safety when you have a job, and then suddenly Corona, boing, or something else. It's not about safety. Nothing is safe, of course. It's just whoa, chaos, no control. But it always has been like that, so no difference.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
It's so interesting though, because it does seem like if you were to talk to people about there's no you and there's no me, I mean, it seems, you know, crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the difference you're saying between the felt sense, like the felt sense, and like it being something that you understand and talk about.
Yeah,
It's
not even felt, because it's not a felt sense. Because then when you think about that, you're going to look for, oh, I don't feel it, so it's not yet there. It's not about feeling. It's already there. It's already. So it's not, there's you and me, there's no difference. There's already no me over there, you could say.
Right.
It's already there. It's already there. It's not a sense like, oh, I feel I have no me. No. No, it's just what's happening. So when there's looking or moving your lips, that's it. And it's not the me moving your lips or the me thinking or the me. There's no me. It's only a dream system. It seems like a whole control system of things that where you have control or you have to do something. And it's just an extra thing that's with no power, with no control, with nothing. And life is just already going. It's just moving the chair. It's already there. So nothing is needed. It's already there. It's already no me.
Mm. Mm.
I'm taking my water. One moment.
Oh yeah, and Rosemarijn, I was wondering if you, well, before this coronavirus thing happened, did you think about doing any residentials or anything in Europe, like Tony does, or?
No, there are not so many people at my meetings yet, so I wasn't thinking about things. I was giving meetings in another. At first, I was giving meetings in my own house, and then I didn't like that anymore. So now I was planning to do it in another place, but it's not going on because of the coronavirus. So I will have a look at how it goes, because there are not so many people, and I'm doing it in Dutch and also in English if people want to come. But yeah, I don't know many people who want to come to residential. I don't know. That's still not a bit small.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe there's coming. I was going to New York, so once that maybe that's happening first, that there are some places where I can go somewhere, some time. I don't know. It's still a bit small.
Yeah. Well, this is great. Gosh, right in my own living room.
Yeah.
Can you say more about like nothing is happening? I think it's the most difficult part to grasp. Like it's like if you're doing something, you have a sense it's not happening. I mean, in daily life, like when I don't know, when you're washing the dishes or like talking to people, you think you don't think, but it's like there is this whatever a sense of it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not something you can understand. It's just say it's the everything is an appearance. So it seems like everybody is very solid, and when you touch somebody, you think I'm feeling the skin of somebody else. But that's only there's only feeling a sense. So there's nothing solid. It's always a sense, and And the same time, and that's the most difficult part, you can't understand. It's appearing, it's an appearance, but it's also not happening. So it's both. It's there and it's apparently, or it's not there and it's apparently there. So yeah, that you can't, it's very obvious when there's no me, and you can't explain, you can't understand. It's just, you can't make an image of it, because that's what you normally do, that you understand, you have an image or a feeling about it. But it's, yeah, it's just obvious, and I don't know why, it's just like that. So it's, yeah, what more to say? That's the freedom. There's nothing happening, it's just nothing. But it's also everything, apparently, because then there's the story and everything is going on. And but that's the freedom. But if you don't, if you, yeah, don't see it, it's not, if you don't see it, if it's not clear or not obvious, then it's not obvious. It doesn't matter so much. So don't bother about it if it's not there. And sometimes suddenly it can be there, and it's just for a moment. I had those moments before that suddenly it was so clear there was nothing happening, and then it did go away, and then I was in the story again. I was not forgotten, but it was so weird that yeah, everything was too strong to go on. So, and then maybe it's when the belief is so, it's also, it's energetic. So it's when it's so strong and it's embodied, then that's, but when when the belief is less there, or the me is not so strong, there can be moments also. That's what I had, fun moments from, yeah, you can call it awakening, or some funny, yeah, funny moments of, I don't know how, in timeless moments. And then suddenly there was, so I was walking through the floor, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then it just was gone. But there was, that moments were so strong. It wasn't an experience. It did stay somewhere, but it was so weird that I just believed that yeah, that was just a dream, or a dream happening in daytime or something like that. So it didn't vanish, but it was always somewhere there, because it was so different as what you normal think. But yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know what to say more.
Yeah.
Mm.
Does it have to do with the not happening? Does it have to do with the fact that there's no meaning anymore? There's no purpose anymore. It's not like solid, not so solid as it used to be because of that.
Yeah. That's the freedom. There's nothing happening, and everything is appearance. So no meaning, no, nothing. Just freedom.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Rose,
Yeah.
this would make perfect sense if we were in a computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the appearance. It seems real, but it's just an appearance, and it not even happening, because it's, how can you say it is happening? It's really happening. Yeah, that's the same story. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like we live so much in the abstract, in ideas, and I mean, I guess you would say, well, yeah, that's what is too. But it seems as though sometimes I feel like there's such a judgment coming from this thinking mind of like, God, let's stop being so abstract, you know? I don't know, I just feel like my job is so about ideas, and it seems as though we get very far away from just what is, like in a felt sense, that we're in ideas so much. I just wonder about that, like, but I guess there's nothing wrong with ideas, but why do we or why is there so much ideaing rather than simply being, you know?
Well, when there's separation, that's a huge trauma, a huge feeling of missing, of there's gone something wrong. So there's coming a drive to make it right, to look for what you have lost or something like that. And that's embodied. And also when the people can that's the ability of people, that you can abstract. There's an abstract mind, and you can make image. There are images of everything and name it, or drinking of free will and choice, that animals don't have that kind of ability in the brain. So the brain is very strong, and the brain is trying to, the thinking and the brain and the whole system is building up to find what you have lost. You're so convinced there's something lost, and we have to do something. And when there's a little baby, there's just me. There's just no me. There's just one, or there's no consciousness of awareness or something like that. And then when the brain, and then it's the energy is just getting tight or relaxed or without anything. And then suddenly at a certain age, the brain is capable of abstracting. So it's suddenly, when there's coming someone in the room, it suddenly can abstract and see, oh, there's someone and here's someone. So, and it's not that literally, but that's more and more developed, because everybody thinks, oh, you are someone. So that's now even more and more and more, and then it's more embodied. So because children don't have that so strongly, that they come out and they're in, and then they just, it's just meing and being, something like that with little children. And then after a while, it's just becoming only being, because that being is that meaning is so strong. The looking and the fear of nothing is so strong, and the wanting, the longing can be also, and longing for being together, and the fear for being alone, or everybody has his different stories about that. And that makes it very strong. And it's also so normal. Knowing is such a normal tool to use to get what you want, or to think that you think from, that's, and not only information tool, but knowing is also knowing what you're feeling or thinking like that. So it's just seems such a big, if you look into the world, that knowing is so important. It seems so important. It has no influence and no power at all. That it's amazing, but we are grown up in it. So it's somewhere, it's just also in the body, in the cells, somewhere. Also, maybe but somewhere it changes. It's not information, because maybe you see political knowing, or the information knowing. No, that's not really that. But then there's the naming of things. So that's also knowing. That's abstraction from just feeling. So then it starts with that. So it's going on so strongly. Yeah, it's surviving. It's a survival system.
And I mean, here in California, my story, I teach little children. And so I think that's one thing that I love about being with children, is because they don't yet have so much of this me, and so they're very, it's wonderful to be around that energy, even though, I teach 8 and 9-year-olds. So, I mean, they're not as little as they could be, but I do feel there's a playfulness about them that I feel it's sort of it's light, it's very light, so they love to play, and I find it very it's just refreshing because they want to play, and I'm like, well, I want to play too, you know. So I think that sense of play, and like I think you've said that it's a joke, like there's no meaning and purpose. So I think in a way children are that. They see the, well, maybe not see the joke, they want to giggle and play. They're light, you know. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that.
We as adults, we think, oh, we want to play too. And then suddenly there's something like, oh, but this is serious. We can't play this. So, and then, oh, then it's starting again. So there are always issues like, oh, this is really important. You can't play here or something like that. So there are always issues when the playing, it's not really about playing, but when that lightness or that nothing is important, that's forgotten, and then seems like, oh, this is my job, and maybe I'm gonna lose it, and then suddenly the whole body, it's not maybe not in there, but the whole body is cramping and fear, and oh my God, and then thoughts and the whole system is wanting to survive and go on. Because it's the fear of losing. This is not about gaining, it's about loss. This is about loss. That children don't have so much that all those issues and all those important things. We build it up in the sense of not we, but it's built up. Lots of everything. So there's nothing left. And you can say, oh, I don't want to have a me, and I want that playfulness, I want that. But it's not about what you want, it's about loss. And then there's something else. There comes the fear. And the longing is for happiness, but the fear is for loss and nothing, like, oh my God, what is this? So then sometimes there comes something else. One moment, I look. Okay. Hello? You want to ask something or say something? Cormac, you say your name?
Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, I can speak. Yeah, how are you?
I thought you want to, but I thought, no. I'm good, thank you. You?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm sorry I'm late. I got the hour wrong. My computer's an hour behind or some shit. But I saw you in New York last year.
Oh, you were
with Joey. Yeah. It was very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
it's nice to be here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We do, when you're not wanting to speak, please do your phone.
Mute it, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
The sound mute. So then, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hey Rose, it's Joey.
Hi Joey. Hello.
Hey.
You're outside.
Well, I'm outside, yeah.
Sky.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's warm. We were just at the barn and doing stuff with horses. I think what's happening with me is very interestingly. I feel like, in a strange way, I feel very cornered with everything that is going on. You know, I mean, you know, around here, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, in terms of this coronavirus. And I feel like what's happening is I always had an idea that there's something that is going to happen. I had a sense of certainty about the future. I knew how things are going to go, more or less, or so I thought. And I feel like at the moment I can't even fathom that anything is ever going to happen. But yet at the same time, there's something that is if you want to call it the me, there's this energy in the body that is always trying to go into the next thing. It's always trying to move. It's always on the move. But now it has nowhere to go. So it's like it's burning up inside within itself. And there's tremendous energetic stuff that happens with that. All sorts of weird things and stuff that is going on. And at the same time, I always try to say, well, you know, you'd say to yourself, well, just let it go, or just do this, even though you hear it isn't that, you know, it's just like you always want to do something or get it or understand it, even within yourself. So it's like this, there's periods of tremendous peace, but then there's periods of tremendous fight. And I guess I just wanted to ask you, you know, like, was there one moment for you when it was all over? Or I don't even know.
Yeah.
All right, is it my internet that's bad? I can't hear.
It was even more like it didn't come back. And in that period, after I think a few months, I didn't even know that me wasn't there. I wasn't even so sure that there was no me anymore. It was more like, oh, is there a me or is there not a me? It was down came up anymore. Hear me? I'm talking to a computer. So yeah, and still, it's not everything is over. What does that mean? There's no me, but there still can be pain or patterns or feelings, anything. But there's nothing what's going on about that doesn't come up anymore. So it's all over. It sounds a bit not right, or it's not what is happening. It's not all over, but I don't know what that is. It's not always happiness or something like that. It's just life. It's just everything, and can be anything. And the only thing that doesn't happen is wanting to change it. That's just not coming up. Just or thinking about, oh, what can I do? And what I just said about the whole story about important decisions or something like that. It just, yeah, it's more easy life with pain, with anything, with sweating, with releasing in the body. It's still tense, so there can be also all things happening about that. Then it's when there's what can happen is also when the body is relaxing, it can be very painful, or sweating, or anything. So, or joy, or everything at the same time, or I don't know. It's just life. In that sense, nothing changed. And nothing did happen. It's not really, that's also very clear. It's nothing happening. There's no me. It's not a happening because it was already like that. So just something, what didn't believe that or something like that, or all those thoughts about it, that didn't come up anymore. But there was already no me. So nothing changes. Nothing did happen.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes somehow intellectually I feel I understand that, but then you get wrapped up or something. When I was a kid, about 4, 5, or 6 years old, I would have these panic attacks, and it was I said I don't want to die, but actually what it felt like was I was just terrified of non-being, like non-continuation. And I feel like there's a tremendous fear associated with that in the body. And I feel like that's releasing itself right now, but it's not comfortable.
Okay. Mm, okay. But it's just a sense in the body. It's just that sense. Because when you name it like not comfortable, it's already a story. It's just a sense. Not only some energy somewhere in the body in a certain way. That's it. It's more simple.
Mm. All right, thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
It seems to me that the me is like it's driven on fear. Like this like this contraction in the body. It's like there's all this like there's a lot of it's like the story within the story of the me. There's all these fears inside, and it's like trying to protect itself and afraid of all kind of things. Afraid of life, afraid of being dead, afraid of not being good enough. It's like the whole stuff. It's could be very intense, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sure.
Yeah, it seems as though this me is constantly in a state of kind of dis-ease, you know?
Mm.
Like Sophie, you were just saying, I think, right, it seems as though, right, there's always that push for something else. What's next? How do I make myself feel better? But there seems to be always sort of a push to something other than this. Whatever this is, it's not quite right.
Mm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the suffering. Like it's not good. It's not good enough, or it's not good yet, or maybe it's good, but you have want to hold on to it. Fear that it changes when it's feeling good. Mm. And it's always a looking for something else because what is happening, just that sense of that feeling, can't be it because it has to be something else, something you don't know what, but it has to be something. And if that something is just what's happening. So it's not solid, it's not one thing, it's just what's happening is a feeling in the body and then moving the hand and it's continue changing and it's just life changing. It's not one feeling of not feeling like, oh, now it's all for all gone, or it's every time it's something new. So you can't find it because every time something else. So of course you can't
Rose,
find it because it's already something else.
Hey, Rose, I think we're
And
all
it's
having a
already
really hard time
the way
hearing
you
you.
look, the way
yes,
the moving goes, or something like that. It's already that. So, oh,
Rose, we can't hear you.
yeah. Oh, okay. I hear it. Yeah. Oh, what is going on then? How
I
can
think
I
your
do that?
internet is
Yeah.
very
Yeah. How
slow.
can I do that? Yeah, I hear. But how can I change that? Oh my God. Where's my? Hmm. How can well, maybe. Yeah, but what can I do about it? I don't know. It's wrong. Wow. I don't know what to do. How can I change it? Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do to change that on the computer. If someone has an idea,
Are you on Wi-Fi?
please say, because I don't know. Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear
It
me?
says some here. It says strong, so I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but yes,
There's
yes,
just a couple,
yeah.
there's just a couple of people that need to mute their microphone because that might make a little bit of difference, but not a lot. I think it's just Joey and no, who is it? Oh, I think they're all muted now.
Yeah, but what do
Because
they need?
it just helps with the signal when everyone's muted, apparently. I've heard it said.
Yeah.
But I can hear you good now, right now.
Okay. This is all, I can sit more close to the computer. I don't know. Is this
Yeah.
all right? Okay. Maybe I can speak some louder. Is that better? People tell me.
Yeah, that's fine. It was just
Okay.
it was distorting your voice, but now it's okay.
Sometimes I'm getting a bit low, so I'm more awake now. No, sure. I can speak some louder. Maybe that can help also sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, will do.
Hi, I don't know how to say your name. Is it Rosemarijn or?
Yeah, it's Rose. Just say Rose. That's more easy.
Rose, yeah, that's easier.
Rose is more easy.
Yeah, sorry I was late. I'm trying to do 2 meetings at once because Andreas is as well. So I was in Andreas'
it's
meeting.
the same time?
Similar, yeah. He started before you and he ends after you. But,
Okay.
but I listened to your last one, which I missed.
Yeah.
And I've listened to you before and I really enjoy the way you speak about this. It's very clear, it resonates a lot with me. And I was just speaking to Andreas about this, about, you know, so much has changed and dropped away here. And there's so much emptiness now. The emptiness is very obvious, so to speak. And I couldn't actually say there's a me or not a me. It's I just couldn't say if it is. I know that whereas my life used to just be a big problem, now there doesn't seem to be a problem. Problems seem to they're not serious anymore. They're not then, you know, they don't seem to matter, or they don't seem to stick as much. Which obviously is really, really lovely. But I like the way you talk about the way we do that. It was gradual, because that's how it's been here. It's been so gradual. There's never a moment where it's gone, oh, that's it, I've got it now. That's
no.
It, and I do resonate with, like, it's always been this. It's always been empty.
Yeah.
but it seemed to have been overlooked in a sense.
Yeah.
Like the haze has sort of cleared.
Mm-hmm.
And the noise is sort of cleared. Although they're still thinking everything's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's exactly normal. It's more normal than ever.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's disappointing in that way because
Yeah.
I kind of expected more.
I remember when there was that moment, that moment when that happened, and then that didn't come up anymore. There was somewhere some disappointment because I had the same. There was always thinking like there's something special again going to happen. Now it's very clear that it's somewhere, and it wasn't special at all. I didn't even know what you said. I didn't even know if me was gone or not gone. I couldn't say. And the doubt was there still. If when there was tension in the body, I thought, oh my God, it's back again, things like that. And then I forgot. And then after a while, for some months, I don't know, that those thoughts didn't come up anymore. That's more like it. So
Yeah,
it's not
that's kind of,
very sure. It's not sure there's no me. It's no, it's not like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's kind of how it is.
It's no issue. It's now nothing going on about it anymore. So something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
very. It was always like. It's always been like this. It's no difference, of course. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always been really obvious. But I suppose in a way kind of seemed hidden.
Yeah, sure. It becomes hidden when they're thinking, and it's really the content seems really important, and then it's going into a dream, and then the dream seems very important, and just the walking just goes on happening, and then there's also the dream. So something that it seems something really important, and it's just nothing. It's just nothing going on. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's more noticing what happens with other people, really, like noticing that the extremeness of how people seem to be worrying and taking things so seriously. And there's a recognition there and memories there of like that I used to do that. You know, I used to be very serious about things and dramatic. My life was very dramatic. My life was one problem after the next. I mean, I've done extensive therapy and 12-step programs and all of it to try and end it.
Yeah. It's holding on to it to end, to trying to hold on to it.
Yeah.
To end.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. And yeah, that's it really. But yeah, it's really nice. I love the way you talk about it. So I'm hoping to see and hear a lot more of you.
Yeah, we're going to do it in the Corona time. Sure, we're going to do it every week.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it every week. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of don't want it to stop. I want the illness and the death to stop, obviously, but as far as the lockdown, it's great because like there's just non-duality every day on Zoom.
Yeah.
And there's no, because I live in York and I used to spend a lot of money traveling to London to see everyone. So this is great. Keep it like this. It hasn't changed much for me because I spend most of my time alone anyway, which I love, you know. So anyway, it's lovely to see you and chat to you. I'll let someone else speak.
Thank you.
Hey Rose, next Sunday will it be in English at this same time or in Dutch?
No, I'm doing it in English always.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Every week. So more than ever. Yeah. Mm,
Thank you.
thanks.
Rose,
Yeah. Hey.
hey, are Dutch people interested in this message? Do you get people? I see your videos, you talk in Dutch. I don't understand anything, but I see you have a lot of videos in your language.
I don't understand. Say it again.
Are Dutch people interested in this message? Do you get a lot of people to
No,
talk
not
to?
very much.
Yes?
No, 5 to 10 people sometimes. So something like
Okay.
that. Mm.
It's very interesting message, really is. But
Mm.
when you hear it after a while, you don't know what to do with it.
No, no,
Because there's nothing you can do,
no. You don't need
nothing
to.
you need to do. So what now?
You don't need to. That the mind, the me doesn't want to do nothing. To hear you can't do anything. You want to do something. You want
Yeah.
to do something. That's more easy.
First time when I heard this message, first time I heard Jim Newman,
Mm, okay.
and I thought he was completely crazy, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people
Then
think.
after some time, when I really heard what he was saying, I got really depressed.
Ah, yeah, that can happen, sure.
Yeah.
Mm,
But now it's like I don't know even to think what to think anymore.
no. Mm. Ah, sorry. Mm. I think this was it. It was the meeting. And when you're just sitting there, it's already this. It's just the sitting is it. When you're looking for a feeling, then the feeling, what is there? Maybe there's a feeling of restlessness. Then the restlessness is already it. It's the walking. It's just the blinking of your eyes. It's the way you look. It's just everything. There's nothing that it's not it. It can't be anything else because it's everything. So it's nothing is wrong, nothing is right also. It's just what's happening. And that in that sense it's the most loving because there's no need to change anything. It's no need to change. Just the way it goes, the way you look, the way the feeling is. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for watching and hearing and listening. Mm. Mm.
Thank you too.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
Take care.
Mm.
The next
Thank
time.
you very much, Rose. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for
Thanks
the
a million.
lesson.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you,
Ciao.
Rose.
Thanks a lot, guys. It was really great. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye, Joey.
Bye, Rosemary.
Bye. Bye. Mm.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you. Mm.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So I'm ending the meeting.